Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 16887 Southeast Spray Avenue here in Milwaukee. We are located right here outside the garage, right in this little corner here to the left of the garage. We have a 3-inch ABS clean out that's hiding under a brass plate. And check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Do you have water running? Off we go. Line just transitioned there to 4-inch 3034. We do have an offset joint here at the transition. However, the joint just shows no signs of being open to the ground. This has been lived in for something like 11 years now, and there is not a speck of debris in this entire sewer line. So in my opinion, the offset is not repair worthy. I'm not seeing enough signs of flow problems, and I do not see that the joint is separated and opened up to the ground. It's still closed off. And then we go into a little bit of standing water here. But again, no buildup, and I don't recommend repairs on bellies until there's an inch plus of standing water and buildup to go with it to make a case. This has had probably 3 to 5 people living in it for about a decade now, and it looks like it was installed yesterday. It's so clean. So based on that, I do not recommend any repairs in that area. If we've reached the main here, we're going to go locate that while the line drains out. All right, line's still draining out here, but I just located the camera head. The line goes down the street quite a ways. We're almost past the driveway of the neighbor across the street here. It gets down the I don't know if they did that for grade purposes or if the main wasn't up here at that time, but it goes down the street a little ways. All right, line's pretty much done draining out at this point. We're going to start reeling back in. You do have, and actually some of that water is still moving there. It looks like you might have some very minor standing water that persists all the way up to the main. It's so minor at this point, I can barely even tell if it's a belly or if it's just the last remnants of the water draining out. It's nothing that's even in the galaxy of repair worthy either way. It looks like you've got maybe a 32nd of an inch of water there. It might as well not even be there when it comes to functionality. Now this is precisely how your sewer line should look right here. The biggest thing that makes lines get gunked up over time is putting bacon grease, cooking oil, stuff like that down the sink, which coats the whole pipe in sticky oil. Causes buildup to occur. But this line's got some standing water and an offset, and these people here have managed to keep it extremely clean. and that is because they're not putting the wrong stuff down the sewer line. So you've got a tiny amount of buildup there. That belly gets out there around 83 feet. Everything beyond 83 feet I don't even think is an actual belly. It's just the last little bit of water draining off. And this belly here so far, that portion of it is extremely minor. It wasn't even a 1/4 inch of water. So this pipe here became offset, you know. This is a little interesting looking here now that the camera's kind of leveled out. It's offset horizontally, not vertically. Originally I thought my camera was kind of flipped around here. So I am going to have to recommend a repair here. And the reason for that, originally I had a different view of this when I came down the line when water was still running. So I kind of apologize for the wordage I used. It's still not affecting functionality at this point. Once a offset is significant enough where the diameter looks like it's actually smaller than it's around 3-inch diameter there, it's something I have to recommend a repair on. At this point, functionally, it is not doing anything. There is not a speck of debris buildup here or anything of the sort. This is more of a liability than anything, to be completely honest. That doesn't mean that won't shift, but it's very unlikely that that's going to shift or change at all in time. But when I have an offset that looks like it's shrunk below, like code requires a main line is going to be at least 3 inches in diameter. This is 4-inch pipe that we're in right now. The offset is enough, though, that almost looks like it's smaller than 3-inch, which is the reason I have to recommend an update there. Again, at this point, it is not affecting functionality in any way, shape, or form. If it had been, we'd have buildup and blockage evidence and all kinds of stuff in there. So if no repairs are done, I mean, I know that the household here has, I think they've had 4 children, so a lot of people have been using the sewer line, and at this point, it is not affecting anything. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of explain that. It's something that I wish wasn't this way. I do have to recommend a repair there, in my opinion anyway. This is my own personal opinion on that. It becomes a liability to not recommend a repair on something of that size. And it could feasibly cause a problem, but it's going to take something like someone putting humongous balls of toilet paper down the sewer line, a whole bunch at once, or a bunch of stuff that should not be going down the sewer line like paper towels. Regular old toilet paper is shooting through this area with absolutely no problem at all. Okay, located to mark this spot here, it's obviously it's around 72 feet straight out from the house. The line goes straight to the right side of the property line, roughly 8 to 10 feet away from a fire hydrant. Down at the corner, you'll see a white X in the gravel. It's under gravel and dirt. And to get a proper locate, I had to push the camera about a foot past that point. So that X it might be off by just a little bit. It's about 6 foot 7 inches deep, so you're not going to miss the spot if you dig there. If repairs aren't done, I might rescope the line in a couple years just to look at it. But again, it doesn't really concern me much if you're putting what's supposed to be going down the line down it. It's going to be the wrong stuff going down the line or massive amounts of toilet paper going down the pipe at once. The reality is, though, at 72 feet, the likelihood of getting a blockage and a backup from that point is very, very low. You've got so much head pressure that would build up behind a blockage there that it would keep it moving right on through. And once again, I mean, the line is spotless. My camera got a little fogged up here, but everything is super clean. And this is not something that's been cleaned before the sale of the house either. We've got a mildew film on the inside of it that takes months and years to replicate. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and roll the camera out. The standing water in the sewer line is of no concern. It basically starts at the transition to 3034 PVC pipe and extends out to it's roughly from 72 feet to 83 feet. And we're talking like a 1/16 to a 1/4 inch of standing water at most, which is not even close to repair worthy. That's what I'm not concerned about, especially considering how far it is from the home. Now, if those offsets and things were right up next to the house, it's a bit more concerning, because if you block, you only got 10 feet of pipe before you're back into your fixtures. In this case, you're 70 to 80 feet out. So when you start filling up water behind a blockage and you fill up 80 feet of pipe with water, the amount of head pressure is extreme and will push everything through. That area though, I can tell, has never even slightly blocked before. Not even kind of. Anyway, I do have to recommend a repair there at 72 feet. Minor belly I don't recommend repairs on. Now, if you don't do any fixes, I'd recommend just rescoping about the 1 year mark just to see what the line's looking like. But at this time it is functioning. We do have adequate flow to the main lateral connection. If you decide to do any repair work, make sure you do a rescope to check the work. I'll try and give you an example here. The homeowner has seen where it's at, so they at least know where this spot is. But the line is kind of I think this was one of the first houses on the street, which is why the line has this configuration. The main probably didn't come all the way up the roadway at that point. There's my car, and that's the right side of the property. That's if you're looking at the front of the home from the street. Here's our clean out. It does a dead straight shot for 72 feet. Right over here, you get into some gravel and a big bunch of bushes right around where the fire hydrant is. The line makes a turn there, and it's right where it turns is where that spot is at. 6'7" deep under gravel and dirt.